When it comes to marketing ourselves online, a lot of the time, believe it or not, we make it about us. What do I mean? Let's talk video marketing. Will video marketing really actually help you grow your impact and your income in your business? The short answer, yes, absolutely yes. But too many people make it about them rather than the people that they're serving. Here's what I mean. When people are making it about them, thoughts could come up like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. I'm just not good on video. I don't believe that I can do it. Somebody else out there will be able to do it and they're much better at it than I am. Those are all limiting beliefs. But I'm here to challenge those limiting beliefs because here's the thing. Video marketing is the capital THE best form of marketing out there because people get to see the real you. They get to see some of that personality shine through. And, in a world where we don't get to meet in person all the time, this is actually really the next best thing to have happened in the marketing world. And honestly, it's not that it just happened. It's been happening for a long time. Newsflash. Even though some of you may just got on Zoom, at the end of the day, this is something that's been going on for a long time. So how can you get on video if you're one of those that you're like, you know what, I'm just not sure if it's for me. I don't really want to. I don't really like it. Again, I'm here to challenge you. So how you can get on video, number one, practice makes permanent. You're never going to be perfect, but it's going to make permanent. So get on video and create short little messages of, what your program is, maybe who you are, things you like to do. Allow people to get to know the real you. When it comes to video marketing, when you attach the marketing piece on it, a lot of people are like, okay, it has to be all about business. But again, I'm going to challenge that belief. The secret that I learned, the number one secret that I learned when I was in television and then getting out wasn't how well you can market your business. Is that important? Of course that's important. But the secret piece that's going to get people to fall in love with you, it's going to get people to follow you no matter what business that you do, and it's going to get people to really buy into who you are and that they can truly believe in you, is showing you in other lights. What does that mean? Showing you behind the scenes, showing you with your family, showing you in hobbies you like to do, sharing your thoughts open and freely. That's something that people really get scared of because they don't want to lose business if they showcase the real them. And if people just don't like it, they don't want to lose that business. They don't want to hurt people's feelings maybe. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want people to not like them, really is what it is at the end of the day. But here's the thing. The more you refine, just like in business, the more you niche down, you're going to be able to really directly speak to your tribe of people and the people that you want to work with. I promise you that. I've been doing that for a number of years, and it's something that just feels so good the more you niche down. Just think of your inner circle, the people that you love hanging around the most, the ones that you trust with your life, the ones that you want to get advice from because you truly just believe in them as people. That's not 10 or hundreds or thousands of people, right? You're going to have a small inner circle. You really are going to have a small inner circle. So just like that, when it comes to video marketing, you want to be able to really speak to the people that are for you. And the beautiful thing about social media is that can go out to the entire world and you can have a global impact by just choosing to show up and share. The benefits of video, and I've kind of highlighted this already, is you get to show personality in ways that a picture can't, or just text on a post cannot. When you're showing video, as you're seeing me right now, you see I like to talk with my hands and I'm pretty animated. Well, I was in TV for 5 years and I've been in front of the camera for over 10. So I've had a lot of practice. I honestly just have failed more than you guys and more publicly. So I've been able to refine along the way. But the biggest key is you have to understand that it's so much bigger than you. And the benefits of video is, again, you get to have the number one piece of content, which is video marketing, out there in the world. Places like Facebook, of course, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of those really are video based. If you've noticed, most of the big social media platforms are video based. People are going towards video. But people are still scared. They're like, oh, I'm just not sure. Well, I challenge you to jump in and just start messy. And I want to give you something super simple. So when you're like, okay, Molly, I trust you. I'm going to get in. I'm going to do this. Here's how simple you can make it. And this is the benefit of video. Again, you get to show personality. You get to be that authority, have that confidence. But when you're sharing a message, keep it really simple. You don't need to come on and share something that's 30, 60, 90 minutes. If you're a long form type of person, that's fine, but actually the internet loves short form. If you can make videos in 30, 60 seconds, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the platform that you're on, the internet's actually probably gonna praise you a little bit more because it allows people to click through more videos and stay on their platform. So newsflash, if they're going to be on their platform and they're going to watch videos, why not have it be yours? So here's how simple you can make it. And I actually teach a lot of my clients inside of my consulting firm this. Think of your 3 pillars. So when people are coming to your social media platform, what are the 3 things that they can definitely depend on when they come there? It's like your TV show, right? So say you want to teach them about entrepreneurship, financial freedom, and women's empowerment. Okay, those are your 3 main pillars. Now go into the entrepreneurship category. What is it about entrepreneurship that you want to share about? What is it about financial freedom you want to share about? What is it about women's empowerment you want to share out? And I recommend putting this on a spreadsheet and then start diving in. Now from those, now you have a topic. Say entrepreneurship, you did it because the freedom lifestyle that it provides. Okay, now you want to have a talk on freedom lifestyle. Pick 3 bullet points, A, B, and C, or 1, 2, 3, 3 bullet points, and that is it. When you jump on, you press record, or if you're on a live video for the brave ones out there, you have 3 points. And now, do you see how we just narrowed it down so well and got the clarity? So if you want to talk about the freedom lifestyle, you pick those 3 points, then you just speak on that. And if that video lasts 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 5 minutes, that's great. You have to get started somewhere. And you may start scared, and maybe you want to say that in your video. Guys, this is the first time I'm doing it. I'm a little nervous, but bear with me. I'm going to let you know when you are open, transparent, and honest with your audience, they're going to love you even more, because what that says to them is like, wow, this person's not trying to be perfect. They're not trying to have all the answers and be a know-it-all. They're just being real, and they want to share their wisdom with me. And I really like that. And I almost can guarantee you, not 100%, but I've seen this happen a lot in what I do, what my clients do, just people when they decide to really hone in on this. You are now giving other people permission that they can do it too. Without even saying it, you are, because they're like, oh my gosh, I could totally do that. She messed up a little bit, but she still pushed through it. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna try this today. I'm gonna take baby steps. And I'm not saying you have to be an expert overnight, because newsflash, nobody is. But what I am saying is you get to push and be 1% better every single day. And just tell yourself, okay, we're gonna be 1% better today. What does that look like? Maybe that's reviewing a video that you've done. Maybe that's coming up with more topics, whatever that is. But the benefits of videos, people really get to see inside your mind and the value that you give. So if for those of you out there that do have some kind of a program or product or something you're trying to sell, you have given so much value already, but by the time you make an ask of, I have a program that's coming up, I have a launch that's coming up, I have a challenge you can get into, check out this product that is gonna be a benefit to your life, they're gonna think of, hey, do I really need this? Well, you know what? This person has showed me so much value. Or you know what? I know somebody that could utilize this. That is the best position to be in. When that person is like, you know what? I wanna follow this individual because they're giving me so much value. Do I want to support them in their business? Do I need what they have, or do I know somebody? And I always even teach people, go take it a step further and be intentional. Reach out to them. Hey, Susie, thank you so much for writing on my posts or watching my story. I truly appreciate it. You know, what is it about my content that keeps you here and wanting more? Boom. Now you just opened up a whole can of good worms. But nonetheless, you're opening up something so much deeper, because when you take that action behind the content that you put out and you see people, your regulars, right, that are watching it, now you're developing relationships and you're showing them, hey, you know what, you matter. And I really want to know what it is that you think. And I'd love to be able to get this feedback, because that's what we need in life, in business, relationships, feedback. We need to be open for it. But when we get that feedback, we can constantly refine, because people are sharing it out of love because they want to help us. All right. I really want to touch on this piece right here, and I probably should have done it sooner, but where and when to record. Honestly, the beauty of a phone, you can literally record anywhere, but here's a few tips to make sure that your quality of video is on point. On point. You want to have good lighting. As you can see here, the lighting is on point. I use a ring light from Amazon. It's like $90, the best investment I've ever had. My first one lasted me 5 years. This one I think is going on 2, and it's just excellent. So we can definitely have the information so you can check that out, because you can put your phone in the middle. The lighting looks great. Make sure that the audio is great too. Maybe run some test runs with your video and just see how you sound. You don't want to be somewhere where it's super noisy, especially if you're creating a piece of marketing that's really, really important. If it's a behind the scenes piece, like say on an Instagram or Facebook story, that's okay. If you want that lifestyle and you have some noise in the background, that's okay. If you have like AirPods or earbuds or headphones that can make it a little bit cleaner if it's noisy outside, that's also a great option. So those 2 pieces right there will make your video go that much further, because having something that's kind of dingy, dark, not really lit well, people are like, skip over. But you have something bright, looks good, and there's energy behind it, especially if you're somebody like me that talks with their hands. People are going to be like, okay, there's something there. I want to tune in. It looks like this might be something interesting. So the audio piece and the lighting piece are super important. So as you can see, where I'm recording right here is actually a corner in my office that I designated for almost all of my recordings for video, because no one's walking behind me. It's pretty quiet in here, and I don't have to worry about all the outside elements. And so I set up my little bookshelf. I got everything that's clean. I do my Zooms here, everything. So if you can set that up in your home where you have a spot where no matter what, you know you'll have a safe place where it's not going to be noisy, your lights are in here, you're good to go, and it's something familiar, it's actually going to take less stress. It's going to take, less stress off of you, because you're gonna kind of know the environment, be familiar with it. If you're outside, you're on the side of the street and you're recording a video, and if it's lifestyle, this could be okay, but there could be an ambulance or a cop car or something crazy that happens, and there's a lot of things outside of your control. So if you can have something inside of your control when recording, that is super, super important. So we already talked about the piece of, okay, when and where to record, how you wanna get your message out there. Remember the 3 pillars. Those are going to be super important for you. And when you knock those down, you're going to feel so good about the content that you're putting out there, because you're like, okay, I'm really clear. Here are my 3 pillars that people are going to know me for. Not that you can't post anything else outside of that, but they need to have some kind of consistency for you. Remember this, people are most consistent at being inconsistent. People are most consistent at being inconsistent. So if you show up on the rig, guess what? They're gonna be like, wow, I just really appreciate how you show up all the time. You're just super consistent. And what are you doing on the back end? You're giving them permission and showing them, hey, when you show up consistently, you can have similar results. Not everything's gonna be the same, but if you show up to the gym consistently, on video consistently, putting out your thoughts and your ideas and your programs out there consistently, you're gonna show them, hey, results are gonna happen because you're being intentional behind it, which is really key for just about everything. So the piece when it comes to video that I really want to touch on, because I get questions about this all the time, are reels for me, live video, recorded video, or, when should I put pictures out there? I want to have a mix of all the things. Well, guess what? Newsflash, you can, which is really great. So let me kind of break down really simply what all these do and how to have a good flow in your content calendar when you're putting content out there. So reels, or even, TikTok videos, those are really good because it's kind of like the trailer to your life, the trailer to whether you're funny, you're educational, you're thought-provoking, and that is going to draw in more traffic because TikTok and Instagram love that you're jumping on there and they're really hot features. It's kind of like with Instagram, it's their favorite child. They want to give them all the things. When it comes to recorded videos, like in your IGTV, for example, or you're posting it on Facebook or even on YouTube, that is going to be your bread and butter content. So that is going to be your evergreen content, meaning it's always going to stay there, something that people can watch indefinitely, and it's not going to go anywhere. And I really recommend these pieces to be about 10 to 15 minutes. You could even have it down to 5 minutes, so 5 to 15 minutes. Again, don't put all the pressure on yourself that these have to be super long, but having the 5 to 15 minute videos, those are pretty easily consumable as far as time goes. The 30, 60, 90 minute videos, not a lot of people have the time for that anymore. They really don't, unless you have really built up a solid audience and they'll just listen to hang on every word you say. If you think of the person you love to listen to the most, take Tony Robbins. Tony could talk for 60 to 90 minutes and people are gonna listen. Why? Because he's already laid the foundation and put in the work and people see the results. As you're building that up, short and sweet to the point is gonna be great. And the 3-pillar strategy I gave you of really being able to just hone in on the topic and the 3 points when it comes to recording the video is gonna be so important. Live video. Live video is my absolute favorite, and here's why. This is probably the one that freaks people out the most. Whether you're going live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you can even go live on YouTube. People freak out because when you're live, there's no takebacks. I want to share this quick little story with you because this is going to really shed light on perspective. And again, I have been doing all of this, video consulting, being on camera, video marketing for over 10 years. And I remember this was just like 2 years ago. I was on a live. I had a point I wanted to bring up and I was like, oh shoot, I lost it. Okay, and it came back like a couple minutes later. Oh wait, I have it again. Oh my gosh, I lost it. That happened not 2, not 3, but 4 times. And on that 4th time, I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I losing this? And I finally got it. And I said, you know what, you guys, this is a really great example of when you're live, that you got to give yourself grace and just go with the flow. Because when you go live, here's what happens. And I want to break down this thought process, this mindset around, it can be difficult, but you can master it. And here's how. When you press live, the nerves come. Maybe you get a little hot, a little sweaty. You're like, okay, I don't want to mess up. And the doorbell could ring, the dog could bark, the kids could need something. Your to-do list decides to start running in the background of your mind, and you're like, oh my gosh. Well, when I first started recording this, I knew I had to put it on airplane mode and turn the internet off because I don't want notifications to keep coming up. You can do the same. So maybe you have to be like, okay, you guys, mommy's gonna go record, or I'm gonna go record, you guys, and just leave me alone for a little bit because I really need to get this done, and let them know I really need to just get this message out there and record. And you'll start building up a tolerance as for like all the little things that start popping up when you go live. But even if you're in the middle of a live, and I've had this happen, I live next to a train. My building could rattle. People are like, are you in an earthquake? I'm like, no, just the train next door. Or my husband may come into my office and he's on the phone and I'm on a live and I'm like, oh, sorry, you guys, my husband's just on the phone. You got to love working from home. Play with it. Maybe your kid jumps in the live or your dog jumps on your lap. That's okay. The beautiful part about more people working from home is that we're having more grace for people for these little interruptions, if you will, but it's just life. It really is just life. We're all doing the best that we can. And now it's just okay, you know what? That's kind of more the norm. People coming in and, letting them know that, hey, I'm busy. Or you could do what I'm about to do and put a little on air light outside of my office. So when I'm live, it's on. So you know that, hey, you can't come in because I'm busy. And then turn it off when I'm off. You could do something like that too. Probably find that super cheap on Amazon. But the key piece is that, okay, we talked about the reels, the recorded, the live. When it comes to live, just go for it. Sometimes I just click the button and I just go for it. But I always have sticky notes. I have sticky notes literally everywhere. And I will put it next to my phone or on my ring light so I stay on track on what I need to talk about. That happens day in and day out because you just never know when an interruption's going to hit. And finally, the pictures. So absolutely, throw some pictures in there. Not everything when it comes to your marketing needs to be video. So throw some pictures in there. People love to see you, love to see your face. And have a good meaty caption with it, something that is meaningful. When I first got started, I would find quotes that I like, and then I broke them down on what it meant to me. So people get to see into your perspective, not just, well, here's a quote from Nelson Mandela, for example. A lot of people quote him, but that quote that he said, why did you want to post that? What does it mean to you in that moment? And what kind of mentorship or advice or possibly revelation can you give to somebody else from that? So absolutely, you can kind of mix in and do all the above. And here, if you're wondering, okay, how do I make that happen for me? What kind of a schedule should I do? Do something like this. 1 reel a week, 1 live a week. You could do 2 recorded videos and 1 picture post. So that's 5 pieces right there, if I did my math correctly, and 5 days a week. And then I also love getting on my story. The stories where you don't have to be super polished, super on your game. It's a great behind the scenes. Here are my thoughts on the go. Here's what I'm doing. This is what I love. You really get to know the person in the story. And the story is actually one of my favorite elements across the board on social media because I find a lot of people really get to know my personality, who I am, and my picture posts, my reels, my live videos, my recorded videos. Those are all pieces that really tie in so people can see the full me. So they can go on my profile on Instagram, for example, Molly_Trotter, and they're going to be like, okay, I really get the full scope of who Molly is. I literally hold nothing back because I have worked through all of the mess of my message. And I'm like, I don't need to be perfect. I just get to show up. It's a get to, not a have to. And last, and I want to tie this up, last and certainly not least, when it comes to the weekend, for example, take care of yourself. Whether you want to get on your story being like, you know what, on the weekend, I love getting my nails done, or I love going to the beach, I love going for a walk, I love meditation, I love to bake, whatever that is, show a little bit behind the scenes of video marketing. Because again, in your stories, it's a great place to do that. It's a great place to just show people more of who you are outside of your business. Because remember what I said earlier, The number one secret that I learned from being in television, it's not all about your business and being professional and having it all together. Because people are getting really privy to that. And they're like, you know what, that's not relatable. Next, click, let's go to somebody else. But what they want to see is, how can I relate to this person? Do we have similar tastes in food? Does this person like wine? Do they like to work out? Do they love to paint? Are they artistic? How do they handle conflict? What is their marriage like? People want to really know that they can trust somebody and like them. And this all pours into business, mind you, because if somebody feels like they can really know, like, and trust you, just who you are as a person, and then you're weaving inside of your content what you do for business, then you are going to be able to capture more sales than anybody else out there. Because the person who's scared and doesn't really believe and wants to step back and be like, okay, well, I'll get there eventually, that's not going to go anywhere. But the person's like, you know what? I'm scared, but I'm diving in. I'm jumping in and I'm going to do this. And when it comes to sharing, personal content versus business, I used to do like a 10x rule, but it could be more 5x these days, where it's like 5 value posts. Put that out there, 5 value posts of, here's some value that I want to share with you, free of charge, here it is. And then you have an ask. Hey, you guys, I have a launch coming up, or I have a program coming up. This is what I have going on, and love to be able to see if this is something for you and really be able to share the benefits of that. And a lot of people do more business than anything else, and they're wondering why they don't have people really connecting in with them and not liking or sharing or commenting on their stuff, because they're just so tired of being sold to all the time. So stop thinking of selling, really focus on sharing. So by the time that relationship comes to a head and they're like, you know what, I want to work with you. What does it look like? What does it cost? Let's figure it out. That has happened to me more times than not because of the value that I've put out over the last 10 years. And you may be like, well, Molly, I haven't been doing this as long as you have. Well, I have worked with people that have been doing it for 1, 2, 3, 5 years. And you just get started right now, because the internet's not going anywhere. Video marketing will be the number one forever, I can bank on it, form of content that you can really get your message out there, have people really get to know you, your real, bold, and authentic voice, and be able to share your business along the way. So hopefully you guys got value out of this. Really type below the value that you received, your biggest takeaway, the thing that you're going to work on the most. And I'm just excited to see more people show up in their real, bold, authentic voice, because that's what God is calling us to do right now. Too many people have been silent for too long, and now we've seen what that looks like. We've seen what that looks like, and it's time for us to take back and be like, you know what? This is my voice. This is my perspective. This is how I think and feel. And I get to think for myself, and I really get to put that out there and take it or leave it. Either way, I'm going to keep doing it. And when you really get to that point, that is hands down the most powerful place that you can be.